Good morning, Vikings. This is Principal Drawn, and I'm going to be giving an overview of the 10th grade service project that's required for this year. Before I do that, I wanted to commend you all on your completion of the ninth grade required service project last year and the impact that you had on those organizations, the positive impact that you had for all of those organizations that you completed service for last year. Consistently, when I talk to the leaders of those organizations, they talk about how impressed they were with our students, with you, and how grateful they are for the service that you completed to help their organization. Also wanted to reiterate that the ninth grade project, the 10th grade project, these are things that you can put on your college applications that set you apart from the other applicants to those schools. More and more when I talk to admissions representatives from colleges, they talk about the importance of service and how they look for that as something that they want in the applicants to their schools. So these are things that you are getting experience in that will really help you when you apply for college. Let's begin by talking about the goal for this year's project. Each advisory will create a marketing media campaign and on-site promotion to attract customers to a food service company on a specific date in order to raise the most funds. The advisory group will donate their funds to a charity of their choosing. So there's a few key elements that I want to highlight here. First, marketing media campaign. When we were designing the project, it was essential to me that the work that you all completed this year in the service project was something that was meaningful and relatable to what is going on currently in businesses and industries. And marketing, if we talk about marketing for a second, marketing has to do with getting consumers, customers, to purchase goods and services. Marketing is all about selling goods and services. And this is what any business or industry that you'll go into is all about, making their customers happy. So marketing is a very real concept that you're going to get some experience in this service project with. Marketing media goes to how do you attract those customers to your business. And more that's changing from just television ads and traditional advertisements to using media like Facebook, Twitter, blogs, YouTube. There's a number of different media that are available now to attract customers. So the first key to this goal was the project that you're going to be completing is very real in the fact that it mimics what's going on today and will be going on in the future for the industry and businesses that you guys will be entering once you graduate from college. The next thing that I want to point out is this concept of bringing people to a food service company on a specific date. So you're going to create a marketing media campaign around trying to get people into a restaurant on a specific date. And this is very similar to what Voyager does on our Voyager Night Out. We will send an email out to our parents, a phone call, asking them to come to a restaurant on a specific date. And when you go to that restaurant, a portion of the food that you purchase, a portion of that amount goes back to support Voyager Academy. So those funds get turned around and donated to Voyager Academy. So what you're going to do is create a campaign to try to attract people to a restaurant on a specific date, just like those nights that Voyager has, in order to raise funds for a charity that your advisory group chooses. So you're going to, again, try to attract as many people to this restaurant on that date, and then a portion of those funds will be given back to your group so that you can donate those funds to a charity. And there is a little bit of competition in this year's project. There's going to be a prize for the top 2 fundraising advisories. Let's take a look at the entire project overview. This slide goes into all the activities that will be required to be completed to complete the 10th grade service project. So first, just to reiterate, the goal this year is to raise the most money for a charity that your advisory selects. So how do we get to that point? How do we raise the most money for a charity? First, each advisory has to select a charity. Second, each advisory has to create a marketing plan which is used to attract customers to the restaurant on your advisory's specific date. To do that, to make a marketing plan, your advisory will split into 4 teams. One team will be in charge of social media. One team will be in charge of promotional videos. One team in charge of on-site promotions. And one team will be in charge of print media. Then the third part is to actually hold the event. And a key to this is that everyone from your advisory must be present at the event. After you hold the event, then you're going to analyze the results from your event. Then develop a presentation for the charity about what your advisory did to raise the funds. And then finally, you're going to present the funds and the presentation to that charity. So starting at phase 1 today, these are the activities that are going to be completed today as the first step in the 10th grade service project. So first, everyone is going to do research on different charity organizations. And this research is really vital because it mimics what is done in your classes currently and will be done even more so when you're completing projects and research papers when you get into college. After you research charities, then your groups are going to discuss different charity options, and then your groups are going to present the charities to the class. After the class has heard the different charity options, you're going to have to select one charity as an entire advisory to represent. Next today, you'll get to choose 2 areas that you are interested in from these 4 different marketing areas. So you'll choose social media, promotional videos, on-site promotions, or print media. You'll choose 2 of these. And then you'll read case studies from how these marketing media techniques are actually used in businesses and organizations today. Then, after reviewing the case studies, you will have an opportunity to brainstorm some ideas for your plan for using social media or promotional videos, or maybe you chose print media and promotional videos. So you'll get a chance to brainstorm your ideas, use your creativity, and then everyone will present their 2 ideas from the 2 areas that they selected. So if I selected social media and print media, I would brainstorm my ideas for how we could use those mediums to attract people to the restaurant, and then everyone gets to present their ideas for each of these marketing areas to the class. Then the class is going to select the team leaders for each of these 4 areas based on your presentations. So basically you're going to have about 1 to 2 minutes to give a pitch, and this is another thing that's done in businesses around the country. It's a very real world skill. So you're going to have 1 to 2 minutes to give a pitch on your idea for these areas. And then your class is going to evaluate everyone's presentation and select what they think is the best idea for these 4 areas. The people that they select become the team leaders for these areas. And the team leaders, they get to select their teams. So there's some motivation there that once you get to be a team leader, if you come up with the most creative idea for one of these marketing areas, you get to select the team members for that marketing area. So let's talk about the why. Why are we doing this project? First key is that during this process, you're going to create a portfolio from this project which you can present to admissions representatives and potential employers in the future. So all the work you complete today and throughout this activity for the year will go into a portfolio. And this portfolio, part of what we'll do at the end of the year is to uh, enhance the portfolio to make it presentable, something that you would want to put in possibly your application to a school. Or if you get an interview with a school or an employer, you could take there and present them the work that you did during this project. Second, your advisor is always going to be one of the most important people that writes one of your recommendations for college. So it's key through these advisory projects, service projects, that you're working to your full potential, because this is one of the longest time spans that your advisor gets to see you and work with you in the classroom. Third, the project is a required 10th grade project. So last year's was the different visits to the different organizations. This year's project is this media campaign. And then finally, the 2 advisory classes that raise the most funds for their charity will receive a special reward, which again, you as students will have input into.